I was thinking back the other day, trying to remember how I became an antinatalist. I don't recall a time when I ever actively wanted to have children. Since at least my teens, it was pretty clear to me that for me to bring someone into this world would be tremendously cruel. I think the first time this was explicitly made clear to me was when someone I grew up with mentioned that if given the chance, she would not have chosen to be born. This made complete sense to me, even as a kid. Interestingly, this same person later had children, which has always baffled me. It wasn't until around 2019, though, that I was introduced to antinatalism as a universal concept. Before that, I didn't really have a word for my belief, and frankly, I hadn't dedicated much mental space to the idea. I came across Sarah Perry's Every Cradle is a Grave by chance, and the title of that book immediately resonated with me. It seemed pretty obvious that when someone is brought into existence, eventual death and all the suffering leading up to that point is part of the package. So I started thinking more about the morality of others bringing people into existence. Up until then, I had limited my thinking to my private life, and whatever others did was strictly their business. I still believe that this is their own business, of course, but I finally realized that there is a kind of universal morality at play in the decision to bring sentient beings into existence. I eventually read David Benatar's book, Better Never to Have Been, to familiarize myself with the philosophy more formally. At some point, I'll probably make a video summarizing the points I found most compelling from that book. All along, I spoke with very few people in person about this philosophy. So eventually, the idea of talking about this topic on YouTube seemed like a great way to help me process the details of the philosophy, as well as connect with other people who think similarly. I noticed that there seemed to be a lack of people in healthcare who were talking about this, at least online. So even though I don't consider my profession to be a critical part of my identity, I decided to make medicine part of my focus on this channel. Hopefully this draws more interest from people in healthcare, as well as contribute to the general diversity of backgrounds in the antinatalist presence online. Well, I know this video was a little different from my usual, but I figured it would be nice to reflect a little on how I got here. Thanks for listening.